Are you looking for a stress technique that actually works? After trying these 5 techniques on myself, these are the ones that actually made the cut during one of the most stressful weeks of my life. So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all about them. Hey, I'm Joanne Crone. I'm the founder of No Guilt Mom. And last week was insane. We were running a summit. One of my team members and my best friend got hurt and was completely out for the whole summit week. On top of that, I had my period cramps and I was dealing with jet lag coming back from a family trip that we took. It was the most stressful thing I have ever gone through. And in moments of stress like this, there are some exercises and techniques that I want to try to turn to because I don't like that feeling of all the anxiety in my head, all the like knots in my stomach. Perhaps you feel it too. I need some tried and true things. So I tried a lot. Balance members, if you're listening right now, this video is going to help you in phase 2 on your milestone chart with your reset queen milestone right here. It's going to give you some ideas and some stress techniques to try to take that stress level down. To have a little fun with this, we're going to use the mom meltdown scale. This scale is going to tell you on a scale of 0 to 10 how good that this technique helped prevent my own meltdown. So in this video, expect to get some really, really great actionable tips and some stress relief strategies that you can try. Let's get into the first one. The first one is the 4-7-8 breathing reset. Now, I'm sure you felt it before where you feel like you have so much that you have to do that your whole body gets tight and your head, like you get a little fuzzy in your head, a little lightheaded. That is a signal to me that I'm forgetting to breathe. I hold my breath when I'm stressed. So I tried this during dinner time, right when, well, actually before dinner time, because I'm the one who makes dinner in the house and I'm so tired at night and yet I want to eat. So I have to really pump myself up to get dinner going. So I tried this to calm my body down. And it did calm my body down so much that my anxious mind, that thinking of the future, that thinking like I didn't want to do it, was able to just breathe and really look at it logically as just a series of steps I needed to take to actually get dinner made. Here's how it works. 4-7-8 technique is you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 7, and then you let it out for 8. So I'm going to do it with you right now. Okay. Do it with me because the best way to practice these things I found, like the way that I won't forget them later, is if I actually practice doing them. That's actually a teaching technique. It's kinesthetic learning where you learn by doing. So if you're one of those people, try this out with me right now. I think it helps for everyone though. Here we go. We're going to breathe in for 4. Hold for 7. And then breathe out for 8. Oh my gosh. I already feel like this tightness that was in my shoulders before, it just loosened on that exhale. Did you feel it too? So on the mom meltdown prevention scale, the score is a solid 8 out of 10. Why? Because sometimes I am so amped up, I don't even want to breathe. Like breathing is too much for me to do in that moment. And during those times, I will try this technique and I will still be like so tight, or like my breathing is so constricted that I can't even get a breath of 4 in. Like my breath runs out from 4. And that's a sign, that's just a sign that I'm stressed. So if you feel that way too, that is okay. Just think of it as this is another tool in your toolbox. The second technique that I found worked for me is a physical pattern interrupt. And what this is you just do something physical to take you out of the moment. Now, I like to use this when I'm working at the computer for a long time, or if like there's a tense situation going on with my kids, like maybe they're screaming at each other or they're just refusing to do something and I feel like my body getting tight. A physical pattern interrupt can be really, really helpful. So 3 physical pattern interrupts that I really like to use is just the rolling your shoulders. So just roll your shoulders with me. I get like, you feel the cracks in your shoulders? I feel it. I feel the pops. I feel the cracks. I feel everything. The next one is tapping. And tapping is something I can use in the car, especially when I feel like my anxiety going. And all tapping is I like to use it right on my heart and I just tap right here. And it's a physical pattern interrupt that takes me out of my thinking and it calms me down. Another physical pattern interrupt is just gently rolling your wrists and your ankles. Now, these are all things that you could do pretty inconspicuously. So that like you could do this in the car, you could do this if you're waiting somewhere, just like moving around, and it helps with anxiety. On the Meltdown scale, this score's a 7 out of 10 because sometimes it is hard to access this one if you are in public, if you are not trying to call attention to yourself. It's also something that really takes some experimenting to figure out what physical pattern interrupt works for you. So out of the 3 I tried, which one have you tried before? Leave me a comment right below and tell me if you've tried this physical pattern interrupt. Technique number 3 is the name 5 things grounding technique. This works because a lot of our anxiety and our stress is all thinking about things in the future. And so when we're able to name 5 things in our immediate environment, it brings us back into the present. Now, I use this when I get really, really worried about my kids. For instance, my daughter just started driving, and one night she didn't tell me that she was going to come home later than she said she would be there. So I felt like this wave of stress, and I started naming 5 things. I was in my bedroom, so I'm like, okay, there's the lamp over there on the table. There is a chair over there. There's the carpet right there. The bed and the lamp. I give this technique a 9 out of 10 because it is so effective at pulling you out of your stressful thoughts and putting you in the present. Technique number 4 is the emergency phrase technique. This is my favorite parenting technique of all time. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me non-reactive when my kids tend to push my buttons or ignite my triggers. Everybody has triggers. I am not the most patient person in the world, but I feel like this particular emergency phrase works really, really well for me. We were talking in the kitchen about some perimenopause symptoms. I was talking with my husband. I just listened to a podcast episode when one of my kids was listening in and they go, "Oh yeah, I heard your head catches fire when you have menopause. When's your head going to catch fire?" Now, I was automatically triggered by that because it was a serious conversation I was having, but I also knew at the time that my child was joking. It wasn't the appropriate time to joke, and it did make me stressed out and mad. So this is the phrase I use. They don't have a fully developed frontal lobe. They don't have a fully developed frontal lobe. And what that is that their cerebral cortex hasn't developed fully and their brain does not function properly until the age of 25. This really helps keep me grounded in reminding me that my child, first of all, did not mean to do this thing. It was just due to their underdeveloped brain. It wasn't due to any intention or any malice on their part. And second, it makes me a little bit more patient towards them. Now, this phrase actually works a lot better. I could keep a lot more patient around children than I can with adults because of my thinking in this way. When adults do bad things, I'm like, for this to work, it's really important that you choose the right phrase for you. You can totally take my phrase where they don't have a fully developed frontal lobe. It takes me down. Or you can try some others. Now, I rate this on the Meltdown scale a 10 out of 10. Calms me down all the time, makes me non-reactive. I used something similar when I was a teacher in a 5th grade classroom. It works for me. Technique number 5 is the future self visualization. I love to say this to myself when I'm getting really stressed out about all the things I have to do, like reschedule a doctor's appointment, reschedule the orthodontist, make a grocery list, get my workout in, write in my book. All of these things. I get so overwhelmed that I actually don't want to do any of them. I shut down. Do you do that too? Do you shut down when you get overwhelmed? So what I like to think of is my future self. I like to think of myself doing things to help future Joe. And that really helps me stay focused and be like, okay, if I do this right now, I'm going to make my life easier. What you can do in this situation is picture this future version of yourself that is going to be so happy and so thankful to past version of you that this thing you're stressed out about right now is done. Here's an example. In my family, we all do our own laundry. everybody. I do not do anyone else's laundry but my own. However, that saying, I will be very good about putting my laundry in the washer, really good about putting my laundry in the dryer, not so good about folding it. It actually stays in a basket in my room for a while. And this gives me a lot of stress in the mornings because I have to dig through this basket to find out what I want to wear. So when I know that future Joe is going to be really stressed out, I tell myself in the present, okay, we're going to do this for future Joe. I'm going to do this for future Joe. And then I could actually sit down, focus, and fold my laundry and put it away. Now, this scores an 8 out of 10 because sometimes I'm so stressed out. I'm like, screw future Joe. She can deal with it on her own. But at the times I do it, it really lowers my stress level. Now, want to know some of the techniques that didn't make the cut? First of all, meditation. I would love to meditate. In fact, we just did an interview with Dr. William Stixrud and Ned Johnson. You can go and see that video over here, where Dr. Bill said that he's the most calmest person, and he was not like that in his early 20s. He has a practice of transcendental meditation. I've known this for a while, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to meditate, but I never make the time for it. And so it fails me every time. And then I just feel bad because I'm like, you should really make time to meditate, Joe. Future Joe would help you. This is the time I'm like, screw future Joe. She's not meditating. Do you see how it's a problem? So it's just too much of a time commitment for me right now. Another technique that fails me is listening to calming music, because when I am so amped up, I don't know about you, sometimes calming music annoys me. Like, it makes me even madder. So this one was immediately off the list. And the third technique that didn't work for me is counting to 10. I find that when I'm counting, when I'm mad, I'm just plotting my revenge. Like, it doesn't take enough of my brain power away from me just counting. I can do this automatically where I'm still like, oh, I'm so mad. 1, 2, 3, like, it doesn't help me. So that one didn't make the list as well. The common element in all 5 techniques that I just say that actually worked is that it took my mind to a space that was in the present instead of worrying about the future. It also concentrated on the feelings in my body, like the breathing, which really was able to bring my stress response down. If you want to dive deeper into these techniques and really build a stress management system that works for you, our phase 2 module in balance goes into it in our anxiety relief toolkit. I put a link right down there for you. Before you leave, tell me below, which of these techniques are you going to try? Or which of these techniques have you tried that may have worked really well for you or may not have worked really well for you? I want to know. I will talk with you more there. Remember, the best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you. I'll see you later.